Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I feel very privileged to be stood here in front of such an esteemed audience, and thank you once again to our speakers. I think we're in an absolutely fantastic era. For those of you that attended our brief event last June, I think I reminded you that I was part of the dot-com boom in 1999, and I think what we're seeing right now is as big, if not bigger, than the 1999 revolution. So we hear a lot about new tech. And I think there was interesting some comments that came from the audience when we actually asked people, what's the issue that you want to address? And many of you said, well, we're hearing about tech and we're hearing about ideas. And Jim, if you move on a bit. So there's lots of ideas that we get. And I think we're talking to a whole bunch of companies right now that aren't short of ideas. If you look down the left, we have ecosystems already around with startups. We were part of the Microsoft Accelerator program. Ourselves, lots of companies are running hackathons, standing champions of change. We have obviously our wonderful people that pay our salaries and our bonuses, which are the customers and the brokers, although there's a debate about the broker side, I know. But there's always a great source of ideas. So it's not that we're short of ideas, right? I think we'd all agree with that. There's more ideas than we probably know what to do with. And if you read things like CB Insights, which I'd attribute this statistic with, there's no shortage of new technology, is there? In 2014, startups collected $740 million in investment money. 2015, that rose to $2.65 billion. So there's no shortage of new technology out there for you to apply these ideas to. So what is it? Because we have on the right technology that covers a whole range of risk compliance, operational efficiency, customer experience, product innovation. There's all sorts of options for you to choose. So what is it that's standing between ideas and using these new technologies? I've very loosely called it the black box because I think it's made up of a number of aspects. And I'm sure each of you have got your own stories about why it is that things don't quite gel between the ideas and the tech. So I'm going to just very briefly, because I want to give you the opportunity to hear more from our esteemed speaker panel and group, so if we move on. I think the black box is a conundrum because I just read very recently something from Harvard Business Review, and it said, for all of the dollars spent in the US on new technology, there always remains a persistent and troubling gap between the value of that technology and the ability to put it to work effectively. That was written in 1985. So here we are, 2016, and we're still having the same discussion. And what is it that sits in the middle? Is it about scale? There's an argument that the larger companies, whether you're an insurer or an MGA, you are not able to be agile enough to respond to your customers' needs. The extent of the processes, the embedded technology that you have, the management practices are such that you're just not able to flex and move at the rate at which consumer preferences are shaping. Do people agree with that? Show of hands. So there's a roughly 40% think it's to do with scale. Well, one of the companies we work with, another part of our group works with, is I can't say the name, I think, for confidentiality reasons, but they're not in the insurance sector, but they're the world's largest online clothing retailer. Their revenue is over $1 billion. They can actually operate at the speed, in fact, faster than most consumer preferences shift. So, is it scale? Arguably not. Is it to do with culture and risk appetite? I mean, we are in the insurance industry, so we should be really, really good at assessing risk, right? And that's what we do as a business. That's how we make money. There's definitely a risk of failure in using new technology and innovation, and we see that a lot in a lot of organizations. But we work with organizations where they've got people that are adamant they want to move forward. They are worried about what I call the hedgers and the assassins. The hedgers are the ones that sit on the fence, and the assassins are the ones that will try and subvert any program. So I don't know. I mean, again, how many of you think that's to do with cultural challenges? We've got one, yeah. So, well, about 40% again. Regulation. I heard the former CEO of Autonomy at a recent speech talk about the fact that he thinks insurance is inherently difficult to make change because of the amount of regulation that the industry is facing, and increasingly that will increase. The FCA allow you to play around with new ideas. They've created a sandbox. If you go onto their website, you are able to participate in new ideas, and you get the FCA's blessing. Possibly regulation? I don't know. Again, just interested. Show of hands. Who do you think regulation is a no, that's interesting. We have one member of the audience think that regulation is a hindrance. And experiences. I think most of the people we talk to have had really, really bad experiences with technology and change. I personally, I can't name them. It's nothing to do with the insurance industry, but I first cut my teeth on a software platform that's made in Germany. And it was rather problematic. It was within a utility company. We should have been the perfect lab rat for that implementation, because it was one of those arguments: take it vanilla, take it out of the box, amend your processes to fit the platform. We spent £25 million and there was no financial benefit available. So I understand insurance has got equally sad stories to tell, and maybe it's the experiences. Maybe we don't have the confidence that change is easy, and maybe it's about the technology that we're living with and we experience. I mean, we do see, for a lot of the companies that we work with, they're still on 30-year-old platforms. So I do understand the challenge here. Again, is that, really, as senior leaders and managers in our industry, do we really get held back by our experiences? Really? So that's interesting. So in summary, we think that the challenges of why change in technology is not adopted is because of its bad experiences, something about scale, and culture, risk, and appetite. So what we would like to do is we'd like to continue this dialogue with you. We asked you for this event what you would like to talk about. We've got some fantastic speakers that will share their perspectives, but we'd like to continue this debate with you, because we'd like to unravel or unlock or show a light on the black box, however you'd like to see it, because I don't think there's one answer. I think it's a fascinating conundrum, and I look forward to engaging in that discussion with you over the forthcoming weeks. I shall close my little opening there, hand back to Sheila, thank you very much for that, and let the other speakers take the podium. Thank you very much indeed.